Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
I'm Anthony.
I'm Pat.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming in. So, what's on your mind today, Pat?
Well, um, to be honest, it's my marriage. I Things have been going pretty rough lately. We've been um, we've been married for 13 years. Um, we um, we can't. We've been trying really hard to have a child,
Okay.
but we can't. We just can't get a child. The last time my wife was pregnant was like 3 years ago,
Okay.
and she lost the baby during that time.
That
Um,
must have been really hard for both of you.
yeah, yeah, it was, and we still haven't really gotten around to like getting pregnant since then, and yeah, and well, things have been going pretty sour lately, um, and that's just got me. I don't know, feeling like I'm not good enough right now.
Okay,
So
can I ask you something?
yeah.
When you say it has things going pretty sour, what does that
Uh,
mean?
well, we don't we don't talk as much as how we used to. We she's always asking to go on dates. She's always asking to like go out and like do things together, and I'm always
Okay.
just really tired, and I don't want to do those kinds of things. And she's also really pressuring me to get a fertility test to see if it's
Okay.
my fault, but on why we can't get pregnant. But I don't know. And then she kind of stopped asking for dates and stopped trying to have like morning conversations because we used to like be like a partnership. And I noticed me saying no a lot because I don't know, I'm just really tired and just like work is just really stressful. Um, but then she kind of stopped. Like,
Okay, so just to make sure I'm on top of things,
hmm.
I'd just like to recap what I've heard so far.
Okay.
Um, you and your wife have been trying to get pregnant,
Hmm.
and you're not haven't been successful at it, and it's taken a toll on your marriage.
Yeah.
The way that you communicate with each other. Uh, at one point, she was pressuring you to go out and do things and talk more often, and you just wasn't capable of it at the time, or you didn't want to.
Yeah. Well, no,
Um,
well, yeah, I don't want to.
okay.
Because in a way, it just makes it sound like it's my fault
Mm.
for not having a kid. And
So communicating with your wife makes you feel like it's your fault.
um, not communicating, but the whole getting a fertility test,
Ah, okay, I
like
understand.
she's yeah, like she wants me to get one, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like when we first started off our marriage, we've always wanted a kid. We've been trying for so long. We finally get pregnant 3 years ago, and then um, we lose the baby. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but yeah, it's just I don't know. Things are different now. Um, like she doesn't ask about like she doesn't like I don't communicate to begin with, but now she stops trying to, and
Okay.
I don't know. It's just I don't want to lose the marriage. I feel like I'm doing that.
Do you feel as though you're at risk of losing the marriage? Because it really does sound like your marriage is important. So,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know what I do without her.
so you
Yeah,
really love your wife a
yeah.
lot.
I do, I do, and God, I don't. Like I said, she stopped asking about like how like she stopped trying to communicate with me,
Mm-hmm.
and Her work, she helps redecorate like floors and redecorate like parts of houses for like clients, and I don't know. She goes on long business trips in the city. Um, she'll buy new clothes to go out
Mm-hmm.
in, but like we don't go out.
Okay.
And I don't know. I just don't.
Well, you've mentioned a few times that at one point that she was really trying to communicate with you, and but you weren't interested in communicating, and now she's not. What about you? What about you? Are you interested? What's your thoughts about communicating with your wife? Because it sounds like you really love her.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, I want to communicate with my wife. What man doesn't? But I don't. I don't know. I don't know where the spark went. It's just gone right now. Like the spark just isn't there anymore, and so maybe I don't know. I don't want to say like it's over, but it just feels like it's over, and I feel like
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like she's seeing somebody too.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like there's someone else.
Okay, so you're walking around with this fear that maybe your wife is seeing someone else or interested in someone else.
Yeah,
That must be really hard.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's. I don't know what happened. I mean, does 13 years not mean anything? Like we've been together so long. Why can't we? I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I'm losing her.
Okay. Well, again, I'm really sorry to hear that. That must be really hard for you to feel like you're losing the woman that you spent 13 years with, a woman that you love. Uh, can I ask you, are you still interested in having children?
Yeah, I still. I mean, we've always wanted a kid. We've always said we were gonna have a kid. That was the reason we moved to the suburbs and moved out of the city
Mm-hmm.
to have space for the kid. So we have like some space in the backyard for it,
Mm-hmm.
and to like take it on business, or like take it on like different parks and like see different things and stuff. And we got a room for it, and we like got all the stuff ready for it, and I don't know.
So I hear you saying you use the word "we" quite a bit. Um, what about you? What's your feelings about it right now?
I don't know. I don't want to have a kid and then mess it up. I don't want to. I mean, we go through all these. We go through all these things in life, and like I've always tried to measure up. I've always tried to like make sure I do everything right, and I mean, I don't want to have a kid and then not be able to raise it right.
Mm. Well, making sure that you do everything right, as you just said, that sounds like a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, and that's why I don't want to talk about it. She always wants to talk about it. I mean, it's almost like she can't. Like it's almost like every single day. It's like, did you go to the fertility appointment? What do you like? Basically, our whole conversations go toward like go towards, did I go to the fertility test? Because I always schedule one, and then I don't want to do it, and I always call off last minute, and like we've been trying to, or she's been trying to get me to go over there for like 2 years now, and I just don't want to do that.
Okay, I'm curious about something, and I need you to clarify it for me.
Uh-huh.
Um, Earlier, you said that you're concerned that she's seeing someone else. And
Yeah.
at the same time, you said that she's asking you every day about the fertility test. It
Yeah.
sounds like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, it sounds like she's still very interested in the marriage being together and, working things out.
Yeah, that's how it's like come up, but it something's different. Like like at first, I mean, for the past, I mean, ever since we lost the baby, and she's kind of brought the idea that like maybe it's my fault because because we've been trying for 10 years to get pregnant. We finally get pregnant at 10 years. We
Mm-hmm.
lose the baby, and then we continue to not get pregnant. So
Okay.
so she thinks it's my fault, and so
Has she actually said that to you?
well, she doesn't say those words, but I don't see her making schedules for like her fertility tests. I don't see any of that going on. I don't see her going to doctors and doing everything to make sure she's right. Um, it's always me. Like it's always like, okay, you go. And so beforehand, it was always like, have you gone to fertility test, or did you flake out this time, or, but we always, I guess, kind of like chat, or not really chat, because like I don't want to talk to her that much, because I know if I talk to her, then like that fertility question thing is gonna come up, and like I don't want it to get that way. So a lot of times she just talks about like her day, and like she
Mm-hmm.
tries to like get me to talk and like ask, but I always just pretend I'm really busy with work and just
Okay.
that kind of stuff, and I don't want to talk about it. But now she doesn't even try anymore. She doesn't try to like ask about those questions, and like the house just gets really quiet because she's not trying to talk to me. She's
So for a time, she was really trying to talk to you,
yeah.
but you weren't interested.
No, because it's always going to lead to an argument, and because it's always going to go back to fertility tests. But now she doesn't talk to me as much, and her work all of a sudden gets like a lot busier. So like she comes home later. This happened for like about a month, and it's still
Mm-hmm.
happening where her work gets a little later, and then like just last week she was gone for 5 days on a business trip, and
Okay.
a client in the city, and I thought that client, I thought we, or not we, but I thought she didn't do any more like business with that client because of like
Mm-hmm.
some argument that they had in between them. So I thought she closed that, like, I thought she closed that relationship with them, but apparently not. And so she just goes, and she's been gone for a while, and she comes back with like a bunch of new clothes, and just like she
Okay.
seems really like upbeat, and it feels like every time I try to like say hi or talk to her, like I just instantly kill the mood for her. And so
Oh.
like, yeah.
So it sounds like you put a lot of pressure on yourself. You don't want to do anything wrong. You believe that she thinks it's your fault that you haven't gotten pregnant. You feel like maybe she's seen someone else.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure to carry. So tell me, how are you dealing with that, with all that pressure?
I just pretend like I'm working. I just pretend like I got more work at the office, and so I spend more time like drafting work for my boss, because it's just easier that way. It's just
Well,
easier to
I,
say things.
I hear you say that you're
Yeah,
pretending, but what do
yeah.
you actually do?
I don't know. I just sit with it. I go to sleep. I don't know. I don't really do much else. Like I said, I just, if she wants to talk to me, or if she wants to talk to me, I just pretend I have more work, and I just try to do things that get my mind off of it, which is usually just going to work, which even that isn't really helping as much.
Okay.
So
So going to work was providing some sort of outlet.
yeah, because I was doing good work, I got noticed by a lot of my coworkers, and like my boss really liked my work, and like I was always meeting or exceeding like annual goals and expectations, but now I'm not. I'm stagnant, and
Okay.
like it doesn't really matter how much work I do put in or not. I'm just kind of at a baseline. Like I won't be making more money. I won't be moving higher up in the company. I'm just kind of stuck. So I've just been kind of stuck.
Okay. Now, when you say stuck,
Like, just floating. Nothing's continuing anymore. Like, at least, yeah, we always had like the problem of like having a child, but at least like I moved farther in my career. Like every year or 2 years, like I would get something or like I'd get some sort of promotion that come with a pay raise that would kind of increase our quality of life because we could afford different things. But I mean, after losing the baby, everything just kind of felt like, well,
wow.
yeah.
So, it sounds like you're saying that work at one point was a real positive force in your life. It helped you provide well for the two of you, gave you some measure of happiness or fulfillment, but then you lost the child and that all went away. Am I understanding this correctly?
Yeah. 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 Yeah, that's pretty much exactly it right there. So it feels like there's no point in trying anymore, right? Like the marriage was about getting together and it was all about the baby that isn't coming.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. So yeah, it just I guess it just got real stale, and now even the marriage is kind of falling apart. Like she's seeing someone else, and I don't. Well, I don't know if she's seeing someone else. I'm just kind of guessing here, but
Okay.
if she is, I mean that would just. I mean, I don't know what I'd do if I'd see him.
Have you asked her about it?
No, no. I can already hear it exploding. I can already hear like the what? How could you? Like why do you think all that? I've been with you for 13 years. What? Like no, I have not asked her. Mm-mm. But I always have a suspicion because like her like coworkers at work, they're always saying that like like I don't treat her right and I'm no good for her and she should find someone else, and so like I don't know. I can picture it happening. So.
Yeah, it must be a hard picture to have inside of your
Yeah.
head.
Yeah, it is. It is because I don't know anymore. Like I don't know, like I'm trying to fall asleep and I don't know if there's a third person kind of in the room. Like I don't know if there's a third person like sleeping in the bed that I'm sleeping in right now while I'm at work or something. Like I don't know.
That has got to be really hard.
Yeah.
To carry all of that worry and concern.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know how to keep her. I don't know how to at least keep the relationship. Like we couldn't get a child, but I at least want to keep her. So.
Okay, so if you had the answer, and obviously you're searching for an answer, but let's just pretend for a minute that you have the answer on how to keep your marriage together. What would that look like for you?
What would it look like? We'd be happy. We'd have what we used to do. We used to wake up in the morning and like I'd be making breakfast and like she'd like wake up a little later, put on some music. We'd like dance and like we'd go out and like it almost felt like we tackled the world together. Like
When was the last time you cooked breakfast for her?
probably a few days before we lost the baby.
So it's been a couple of years then.
Yeah, it's been like 3.
Yeah.
It's been like 3 years.
And when was the last time you've gone dancing?
It's also been like 3 years.
I see a big shift in behavior and the way that you operated before the baby died and after.
Yeah, it was, cause it was different. Cause it was before it was, we're trying and we can't get pregnant. We're trying, we can't get pregnant, but we'll figure it out because it just takes time. And then after 10 years, we get pregnant, and and it was the best thing ever. But it was a false alarm because we lose the baby like in the third month.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a reality check. Like we'll never have a baby. Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And I don't want that to be my fault. I don't want it to be. That's why I haven't gone to the fertility test. Like I don't want it to be my fault.
Have you considered the possibility that it really isn't your fault?
Well, then that would mean it's her fault, and that would just destroy her.
So you're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. It sounds like on the one hand you don't want to find out whether or not it's something with you, and then on the other hand you don't want her to find out if it's something that's wrong with herself.
Yeah.
So, between a rock and a hard place, you got two hard positions there.
Yeah. I don't want it to be my fault, and I don't want her to think it's her fault, because then, we based our life around it. We based our life of having a kid one day, and it's just not. God, it's just not.
Have you considered another option?
What do you mean another option?
Okay, you've considered that it might be her fault. You've considered that it might be your fault. What do you think could be a third option?
I don't know. We've always, we've always timed everything right. We've always, we've always tried when we're supposed to, and we, eat right. We exercise. Like there's nothing wrong. Like I have 2 brothers and she has like 3 brothers and sisters. Like it's nothing to do with our genes. Like it's not like our own parents are having problems with that. Like I don't know.
So you have good genes. It sounds like there's nothing genetic there. You eat right. You exercise.
Yeah.
You've done everything that you can do. That's what it sounds like you're saying to me. So what could it possibly be? If you've done everything right, what could it possibly be?
I don't know. It could be just one of us. It could be one of us, or it could be both of us. I don't know. It could be both of us. But we got pregnant once. Like I don't know. Like it could just be both of us, and I guess if we really. All right. So, the thing is, if it's my fault, if it's my problem, then she will just try to. Well, we talked about maybe trying to have a baby a different way, where she would just be injected with someone else's sperm. Because mine's not good enough.
Well, you got pregnant before, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing that I'm stuck at, because we got pregnant before, and so I just don't know.
So you were able to produce a baby, and she was able to get pregnant.
Yeah.
So it wasn't her fault, or it wasn't your fault.
That's what we keep trying to tell ourselves. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's. But it's just gotten to the point where I just don't even try in the marriage. So.
Okay. But you really want the marriage to.
Yeah. I do. Because I know that I can't control maybe having a baby, but I can maybe do something better to control to have the marriage at least.
Now that was an interesting word that you just introduced, control.
Yeah, I can't control this. I do everything right. We try our best, and it just doesn't come out the way we want it to.
So you've done the best that you can.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing you say.
Hmm.
And so if you've done the best that you can, where does the issue of control come in?
Because if I had a say in it, if I could say like what I wanted, and if I could control everything, we would be pregnant. We would have a kid, and we would have no problems.
Okay, no problem. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut us off right at that point,
Okay.
but I think that's a good place for us to end, and we can pick this up next week.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for coming in.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Take care.
Yeah.